When I told people I want to draw something new and different, I was unable to portray it, but now I'm getting closer to conveying that expression. This is what I wanted to show you, but I didn't have the talent then. If I started with this level of improvement, then maybe I'd make a better impression. Hi, my name is Alex and this is another illustration video. Back in March 2022, I started using a Wacom drawing pad in Clip Studio Paint for the very first time. In fact, this is my shift from paper to digital drawing. I made 3 videos talking about my dreams and pursuing them. Those initial sketches weren't good, I'm aware of that. Those were the stepping stones for the path I reached today. Sometimes I can't believe I'm the one who drew these pictures, more so when I came up with better character designs and bios. Previously I had an idea and it took a while for those thoughts to become fully realized into something better. It wasn't easy for me, but I'm glad I made it here. For many years I hesitated to draw anything new for I criticized myself harshly. Despite my rough beginnings, I didn't let up. While not everything is done, I have drawn more stuff this year than I did in the previous year and the year before that. I no longer had to waste ink and paper on my failures. Now, each sketch served a purpose to help me grow. And I'm surprised of what I was capable of. I didn't think I'd color this way. Sure, there's still room to grow, such as making mobile poses, lively scenery, and composition shots. I'm very close in starting a comic or something. There's many more characters I have to make, but this completes a main roster for one series. The idea was to make a handful of different shows because there's many things I want to do. I have a bunch of old paper drawings that need to be updated. I've been carrying with me numerous ideas for about 15 years of my life, and only now can I hope to bring it to fruition. A good example of that are the newly made character bios, which are levels above what I originally had. The rest of this video will be a commentary breakdown of these 6 heroes, including their biographies and creation. I hope you enjoy it. Like before, I will mention influences and talk a little bit of manliness. The idea behind these bios was to make them simple, but they're a bit lengthy. They're supposed to be along the lines of an action figure card back or a brief summary on a character select screen. I won't provide the full bio here, instead I will attempt to minimize them for easy consumption. For context, the series is currently named Deadly Hearts. It takes place on a fictional Earth that's been through a war period. The dangers have escalated so much that many superheroes are dead or turned traitor. A group of heroic witches attempted to seal away the power villains, but their spell backfired and warped the planet to a post-apocalyptic setting. Basically, the Earth's continents have all been rearranged into a new layout. Anyone here play Primal Rage? Something like that. Three villain organizations have conquered the planet and are duking it among themselves. The survivor heroes attempt to rally together to stop these evil masters once and for all. The superheroes of this particular series are called Deadly Hearts Valkyries, which consists of these 6 women. It kinda operates like a magical girl theme combined with a beat 'em up format. It's not exactly a manga or anime, but it does contain elements of an 80s battle shonen. Suprema is part of a superhero family. She looked up to the heroic deeds of her mom and older brother. She's wanted to be a superhero since childhood, believing it to be a joyful journey. As she matured, she realizes that being a hero is a gritty task. When Dread Day occurred, Suprema encountered despair by the hands of her father, who became the villain known as Master Unbeatable. Suprema unleashes her inner savagery to protect people from her father's army of caveman barbarians. To her horror, Suprema realizes she has a violence fetish. Even so, she resists her carnage by continuing the fight for freedom and justice. To her, it's common sense to help people in need. But Master Unbeatable is always watching Suprema, waiting for his daughter to succumb to her primal side. Suprema is designed to be the atypical physically strong hero with the high morals, but with a brutish fighting style. Something akin to Raoul, Guts, and Riki-Oh. I guess Western comparisons would be Red Sonja and Conan the Barbarian. At one point I was thinking of giving her an axe, but I stuck with the bare knuckle format with key attacks. Suprema is not a pacifist, but her ideals are almost naive. She clings to her childhood memories as that's saving her from turning into a barbaric beast. I spent the most time fixing Suprema more than any of the other Valkyries. Suprema suffered from a crooked face, and I changed her hair along with adjustments to her jacket. Suprema was the first character who I experimented on via highlights and thick shadows. I realized that all of the shadows can't be thick as it hides the outline of the character, but I found a balance and she looks impressive. Definitely when you observe her without any lighting or shading. For a while I thought this was done, but I was far from it. I always like shows that feature thick shadows and pop art, so I was questioning myself, why am I not drawing like that? Even Friday Night Funkin' does this with their characters, and you can see cell shading in numerous other places. Although there are some shows that don't have shadows at all, yet make up for it with thick outlines. Either way, I found the goal, make it emulate the things I like in animation. And that's how it started. It's a good thing I persuaded myself, otherwise none of these drawings would stand out as much. Valerie hails from the superhero family called Witch Cult. While her family are known for their bewitched claws, Valerie was born special with larger hands, and she doesn't have any legs. Instead of walking, Valerie uses magic to levitate herself. However, she was often bullied by her sisters and cousins for her differences. While Valerie didn't hate them, she developed some insecurities. Thereby, she dresses voluptuously to divert attention away from her lack of legs. She builds confidence by being a bit mischievous. After the failed spell on Dread Day, Valerie became the last member of Witch Cult. Feeling survivor's guilt and believing she caused the spell to rupture, Valerie now seeks redemption by saving the victimized people and fighting the power villains. Valerie serves as the magic healer and knowledgeable in the dark arts, but I desired balanced stats. An unlikely course for a witch is to be a melee combatant who fights with bewitched claws that can damage anything, either astral or corporeal. She is gonna do situational magic spells, but she's in the learning process, so there's a lot of trial and error. Valerie was an unexpected surprise, for she was meant to have legs. I decided not to in favor of a distinctive look. I thought she resembled a ghost, which blends in with the spooky witch vibe. Put her alongside any character and she'll stand out. Of the 6 Valkyries, Valerie might be the most creative one. She was also the character that challenged me to color. When it comes to brown skin tones, it's easy to showcase shadows and glare. But for a pale skin character, yeah, that confused me. Actually, I haven't found a neutral skin tone that works for me. I should have used a dark white for neutral skin, a darker white for shadow, and a brighter white for light, but I didn't do that. I leaned on pale because the average paper is always white, so I'm used to seeing characters uncolored. What I ended up doing is adding a lot of purple light to her skin. Even if it doesn't make sense, it should all be gray in wider areas, but I still follow the principles of darker purple for shadow and lighter purple for light. It just looks like she's constantly being hit by neon lights, but it works for me. In previous sketches, I was going to have a more elaborate design for her arms because the claws were meant to be a curse, but that's not happening anymore. I just had this weird urge to draw a seductive form, thereby abandoning anything complicated for her clothes. I needed to practice drawing boobs anyways. I do feel she needed a skirt of some sort because all of the characters have black leggings and she doesn't? I mean, there's no black there either. I remember feeling agitated, but I decided to just leave it be. I have other characters to create. She looks good already, and I was very shocked because she didn't take long to finish. I think it was less than 24 hours. I just couldn't believe how fast I finished her. Unfortunately, that would be the only time.